All right, let's talk about a technology that is, and I'm not kidding, like a crystal ball for the modern world. It's called a virtual mirror. And honestly, it's about to change, well, pretty much everything. I mean, just really think about that for a second. What if you could test out a massive multi-million-dollar decision before you even spend a dime? Or what if you could fix a critical problem on a machine that's thousands of miles away? This isn't science fiction, you know. This is the core promise of what we're talking about today, the digital twin. So what is this thing exactly? Well, at its heart, a digital twin is a dynamic, virtual model of something in the real physical world. But here's the key. This is not just some static 3D blueprint. Oh no. It's a living, breathing replica that is constantly being updated with real-time data. It's a true mirror of reality. So let's really dig into this whole virtual mirror idea, because this isn't a mirror that just reflects what something looks like. It reflects its health, its performance, its entire environment, the whole shebang. And the scope of what we can mirror is just huge. You could be talking about a single, super complex product like a wind turbine out in a field. Or you could scale it up to a massive interconnected system like a whole city's traffic grid. Or you could mirror an entire end-to-end process like a factory assembly line from start to finish. That kind of flexibility, that's what makes this tech so incredibly powerful. And you know, while all of this sounds like it's straight out of the year 2050, the idea actually goes way, way back. In fact, its modern applications are probably a lot closer than you think. Actually, I'd be willing to bet you've already used a pretty sophisticated digital twin today, and you probably didn't even realize it. Any ideas what it might be? Well, the answer takes us on a journey from outer space right into your pocket. See, the whole concept was pioneered by NASA way back in the 1960s with the Apollo project. They built physical and digital twins of their spacecraft so they could troubleshoot life or death problems from right here on Earth. Now, fast forward to today, and that app you used to dodge traffic this morning, Google Maps, it's doing something really similar. It creates a digital twin of the entire planet's road network using real-time data from millions of us to simulate the best route for you. Pretty wild, right? Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? How does a virtual model stay perfectly in sync with the real thing, moment to moment? Well, it all comes down to what you could call its data nervous system. And this is absolutely the most crucial part. A digital twin is completely useless if it's cut off from reality. It needs that constant real-time flow of data from sensors, from user logs, you name it, to bring it to life. Just think of that data as nerve signals, telling the virtual brain exactly what is happening in the physical world right this second. But of course, not all data is created equal. For a digital twin to actually be trustworthy, its data has to be rock solid. It has to hit these 4 pillars. It needs to be complete, totally accurate, consistent across all your systems, and, this is the big one, it has to be timely. The twin has to tell you what's happening now, not what happened 5 hours ago. And that brings us to what some experts call the 30% rule. The thinking is, a leader doesn't need to be a coder, right? But they do need to get about 30% of the data concepts. Just enough to ask the right questions. Questions like, hey, where is this data coming from? How do we know it's accurate? Is it updating every second or every hour? It's that level of understanding that makes sure the virtual mirror is actually telling you the truth. Okay, so we've got the concept, we've got the mechanics, but what's the real-world payoff? Let's get to the so what of it all and see how this technology is just completely revolutionizing high-stakes decisions for some huge companies. And here it is, the headline number right from McKinsey. Companies that use digital twins can speed up their decision-making by up to 90%. And why? Because they can simulate the ripple effects of any choice in the virtual world before they commit a single person or a single dollar in the real one. And look, this isn't just some theory. Across all kinds of industries, global leaders are already doing this. Let's look at 3 totally different examples. We're talking candy bars, power plants, and laundry detergent to see exactly how Mars, Siemens, and Henkel are using digital twins to change the game. So first up, Mars. They've rolled out digital twins across 160 of their manufacturing plants. Yeah, they use them to predict when a machine is about to break down, sure, but they also use them to tackle this really sneaky problem called product overfilling. You know, that little extra bit of product that goes into the package. By simulating the whole process, they can fine-tune their machines to cut down on that waste, which saves them millions. Then you've got Siemens. They're managing these massive global fleets of gas turbines. Now, instead of making a decision about one turbine at a time, Their digital twin model, it's called ATOM, lets them see the entire system at once. They can run all these what-if scenarios to see how one tiny change over here could affect everything else. It just totally breaks down the silos that slow big companies down. And finally, there's Henkel. They created this hyper-realistic 3D twin of their detergent plant. This thing lets them virtually plan out exactly where every single piece of equipment should go to be as efficient as possible. It also lets their engineers inspect the whole facility from anywhere in the world, and get this, it provides a perfectly safe virtual playground to train new staff on really complex machinery. So after all that, what does this really mean for the future? Well, in a nutshell, it means we might be seeing the beginning of the end of guesswork. But it's really important to know where to point this powerful tool. Digital twins are a huge investment of time and money, so they're not the right solution for simple one-off issues. Their real power gets unleashed on challenges that are complex, always changing, and keep coming back. Things like continuously optimizing a global supply chain or managing a city's entire power grid. And that really is the bottom line here. This technology takes boring, static data and turns it into a living, breathing model of reality. It gives leaders this virtual sandbox where they can test, learn, and optimize without any real-world risk. It's a fundamental shift away from relying on gut feelings and moving toward data-driven certainty. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. If you could create a perfect, living virtual mirror of absolutely anything, a system, a process, even just an idea, what would you choose to build? The possibilities are just staggering, and we're only just scratching the surface. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.